All right, take it away.
Welcome to the post-race press conference, round 8, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. This is the Circle K Unadilla National from New York. I'm Jason Wigan from NBC Sports. It's our 450 press conference, as mentioned. We're joined so far, Ken Roczen, who is the overall winner with 1-1 scores today. It's his second overall win of the year, Team Honda HRC. Also of Team Honda HRC, Chase Sexton, who finished second in the second Moto. Thanks for joining us. Waiting on a few other riders to jump in, but I'll start with the first question, and we'll open it up to the media. I'll go to Ken Roczen first. What has happened for you and Unadilla? You did the exact same thing. You went 1-1 the last time we had a race here in 2019. Was this track always like this for you, or has something come together the last two times?
I honestly don't know. I like the soil. You know, it's very similar to Colorado. And with these long ruts, like, I don't know what it is, if it is with something that I grew up. I definitely, you know, my track is, you know, clay and it gets really hard packed, but when it rained, it was always really good. So that's what I was around. And then it gets rough and we have these long ruts. For whatever reason, it just suits my style a lot. And I think I set up my bike that works really well there as well. So I don't know what it is. I definitely don't come here thinking, oh, I'm going to be 3 seconds faster than everybody else. You know, it's not like that. But, you know, Dilla has just been good to me.
Thanks, Ken. I think we have Dylan Ferrandis checking in. I'll open it up to the media. We do have Chase Sexton here as well. Anthony Sansota, you're the first to raise your hand, so go ahead.
Thanks, Weege. Anthony Sansota here, MotoOnline.com. I'll go to Chase Sexton with this one. Chase, you had a pretty heavy crash there at the start of Moto 1. It looked like you were shaken up pretty good. What were you dealing with in that moment? And can you walk us through that crash?
Yeah, I got a good start. I think I was like third or fourth. I was trying to kind of block Cooper. Cooper was on the outside of me, and he was trying to go around the outside. So I was trying to get on the gas, obviously, and not lose a position, and ended up just losing the rear end. And I did, like, I don't know, probably 5, it felt like forever, but I probably did like 3 or 4 swaps. And honestly, it kind of slowed me down a little bit, so it probably helped me. But I hit the deck pretty hard, and I couldn't catch my breath. I had that wind knocked out of me. I wasn't really hurt. I actually thought I broke one of my ribs at the beginning, but it was just, they were just super sore. So yeah, just caught my breath and got on my bike probably, I don't know, 40 seconds behind the last place guy, and just tried to salvage something out of it. It wasn't ideal, but yeah, it's how it goes sometimes.
Thanks, Chase.
Thank you.
Looks like Marvin Musquin is checking in as well. So we'll have their entire 450 podium and Chase Sexton, who is 4th overall, joining us. Next hand raised is Trent. Go ahead.
Thanks, Weege. Trent, Moto Limited Show. I'll throw this one to Marvin. Marvin, the 3 European riders on the podium today, which is awesome to see. But for yourself, you bounced back from, you know, the start of the season you probably weren't expecting. How does it feel to get yourself on the podium here at Unadilla and starting to put this thing in the right direction?
Yeah, well, overall, I mean, obviously that was my goal to get a podium. I know it's been a tough season, but there's so many good guys out there that are capable of getting podiums, and you can see today the results have been a little bit inconsistent from other guys, and I was a little bit more consistent with 4-4 and landed on the podium. So it definitely feels good. I love Unadilla. It's a really, really good track. It was they made a couple changes and it made it super good, and I've had good results here. So definitely that was my goal to try to get a podium. So now I just want to finish the season and be consistent and be out there and just, I at least be able to fight for a podium position. That's my goal.
Yeah, awesome job. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Revista Moto, go ahead.
Thank you, Weege. Hey, Kenny, can you talk a little bit about the pressure that it would appear that you're under when you're not on the podium? There's media attention. When you're on the podium, you get media attention. Do you internalize that? Are you aware of that, or Is it just more the media talking about you? That are you aware of that sort of it seems like endless media attention about where you are in the standings, where you are on the podium, how you did last race, this race. Is that something that comes into play, or you try and tune all that out?
You always try and tune all that out. I mean, it seems like I always have a lot of eyes on me, and it seems like probably more so away from the media. It seems like people forget that, between Supercross and outdoors, like I'm one of the most consistent guys out there. I mean, I may not have gotten the championship so far, but my bad weekends, unfortunately, like Millville was a little bit out of my control, but then Washougal have they're always just really bad, you know what I mean? So I need to eliminate that to be able to get a championship. But yeah, other than that, it seems like there's always a lot of eyes on me and a lot of fingers pointed. But at the end, I'm always out there doing my best. And when things line up, then we have a day like today, and sometimes we just don't.
Yeah. Thank you.
We have Dylan Ferrandis, I believe, here. Dylan, I'll go to you. It was interesting to hear how honest you were, even after the first moto, that you saw how fast Ken was going. Did you literally shift into, I just want to minimize the damage in points today, the way Ken was riding?
Yeah, I mean, when I show up to the gate, it's always to win, but obviously today, Ken and mostly the Honda boys, they were really on it. And we kind of expect it. Like I know from the past, every year Ken is really strong in Unadilla. So yeah, I was expecting it, and yeah, just being second overall is a good day for me. So for sure, I wanted to win, but I see like after a couple laps in first moto that it will be not possible for me today to win. So I just tried to, like you say, minimize the damage and do the best I can. And yes, second overall is still a really good result.
All right. We'll go to Mitch Kendra next.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racer X. We'll go back to Chase. I was walking through the pits after that first moto there, and obviously the crash and the charge and everything. And you're frustrated after that. What, can you explain what's going through your mind when you get back to the truck, and where that frustration is? It's just mad at yourself, and can you just go through that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously frustrated. Just going down on the first lap of the first moto, kind of it almost just ruins your day, because from there on, you're just fighting an uphill battle. And for me, I want to be on the podium every moto. And when you just go down, when you're in a pretty good spot, it gets to you. So yeah, I was frustrated. But I feel like I turned my mindset around and just told myself if I could get a good start in the second moto, I'd be in a good spot. So yeah, I just was trying to do the best I could, and 11th the first moto is not great. So yeah, I was too frustrated, but it was my fault, and didn't blame anybody but myself.
Yeah, and then you kind of mentioned just like you were a little bit banged up, and at first you were kind of doing that like check, like, okay, what, am I okay? Am I injured? What's going on here? Obviously, some of the parts were number plates are falling off the bike and stuff. But was there anything that was like damage to the bike that you were like uncomfortable with? I mean, obviously you charged up pretty far, but was there, was the bike actually mangled at all, or were you able to ride pretty hard on the bike that was, it didn't have that much damage? Were you still able to ride it pretty hard?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got up and I couldn't really breathe that well. And then once I caught my breath, I couldn't really take full inhales. And that's kind of what was was scaring me a little bit. And then once I got up, I was fine. And then, yeah, I mean, my bars were pretty bent. But I mean, you gotta be able to ride with that stuff. So yeah, I mean, besides for the plastic and the bars, everything else is fine.
Cool, thanks.
We'll go to Nick next.
Thanks, Jason. Nick Still Moto Limited. Let's go back to Kenny. Kenny, a couple of weeks ago, you indicated you were struggling with a bit of sickness. Did that help having the break, mate? And sort of how are you feeling now?
Yeah, definitely. It seems like just nowadays I'm just not I just don't bounce. I can't bounce back from an illness. First off, I haven't gotten like actually ill like that in a while, and then I just can't really seem to bounce back from it very good or very quick. Anyway, so it took me at least another week after Washougal to slowly starting to feel somewhat normal. And then the riding side of things, I took a big step back in the beginning, and yeah, then I started coming around. I had my first good day of practice riding on this Tuesday, so it seems like it kind of just came around at the right time.
Great result today. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
All right. We'll next go to Anthony Sansota.
Thanks, Weege. I'll go to Marv on this one. Marv, you've been building some momentum. Obviously, the fourth of the last round and a podium here. Is there anything that you feel has been holding you back early in the season, and what's kind of clicked for you here these last few rounds?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question. I just I felt like at Paula right away I was riding pretty good, but I never put my myself in a good position right away. But I don't know, the transition always Supercross to motocross, it's a little bit tough. We try to make the bike a little bit better, and obviously it's kind of easy to get lost, and but never really found a good setting, and we went back to some original setting that I've done for the last few years. So it's a little bit better now, and we're trying to stick to it. You know, it's I think it's important to not change too much, and even though you wanna try to improve your bike and everything, but I don't know. It's been a weird season, obviously, and a tough season. But the competition's super tough. I felt like I rode really well in World Sugar Gold, so that felt good. But I rode really good. But I felt like if it would have been like a couple years ago, I knew I would have been definitely on the podium or winning with that speed. So it tells you that the level of the competition now is really high, and it's just getting better every year. So I need to keep on working on that. But definitely today I showed a little bit better speed, better riding, and it's a positive for the end of the season.
Nice. Thanks for the great response, Mark.
Thanks.
Brent, we will go to you next.
Yeah, thanks, Trent from Moto Limited Show. I'll go to Kenny. Kenny, I hate asking about the track, but it looks significantly different to previous Unadillas. It didn't look as deep in sections, and then others looked super deep. Was it any different to previous years, or was it very similar?
I think you might be muted, Ken. I think you're on mute, Ken.
Oh, sorry about that.
Thank you.
I feel like it was somewhat the same. I mean, sometimes we just had, I feel like a little bit of wetness in there, you know, like some years we had rain, and where the new old section is, we used to turn on the bottom right there, and then obviously just have that long right-hand sweeper. Those ruts used to be super long, but we definitely have plenty of ruts out there today. So I thought it was a very familiar and similar Unadilla.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mitch Kendra, you have another one.
Yeah, Mitch Kendra, will go back to Marv real quick. Obviously, Marv, it's your first overall podium of the year. Everybody's saying you're getting these multiple top fives in a row here now. So you're announced as part of the Team France's Motocross of Nations roster. Can you talk a little bit about that and your excitement for this year's event?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. You know, the last few years, yeah, I didn't get picked, but at the same time, the date for Motocross of Nations is not always great for us riding here in America. But this year it actually works out pretty well. It's like 2 weekends, like a weekend off, and then it's the Nations right after the final round of our series. So, but it doesn't work out for the MXGP guys. I mean, I've Romain Febvre, which is like fighting for the championship right now. Like for him, like I'm sure he would love to race there, but he's fighting for the championship, and we're going to be racing Motocross of Nations, and their championship won't be finished. So we understand that some riders don't want to do it. And so to be honest, yeah, for my part, I knew they might have picked him or Ferrandis, but none of these two want to go. So it's a good opportunity for me. I just want to really enjoy, and it's really cool to always represent your country. And I'd love to, obviously go to Italy and Mantova, which is a track that I've raced a few times when I was racing GPs. So I'm excited about it. It's always going to be a good trip and share good racing with teammates, friends.
And I was going to say, I apologize for my ignorance, but either way or the other, but do you know those guys at all? Do you have a relationship with those guys? Or are you excited to, they're obviously, it'll be their first time doing it. Are you excited to be able to learn from them and teach them some things about it and stuff?
Yeah, obviously on the 250, we have Tom Vial, which is, he's the world champion on the 250 class. So he's going to be a great 250 rider. We have actually a lot of other 250 riders, but like Maxime Renault, who's leading the championship, like he doesn't want to do the race because he's got to do his championship. So it's really tricky for those guys, but looks like Tom Vial wants to do it. And then the third guy is going to be Mathis Boarame. So he's a 250 rider who's going to move up to the 450 class next year. So for him, he's excited to move up to the 450 for that race.
So do you have a relationship with those guys? Do you know them personally, or
Sorry, yeah. I know Tom a little bit. Obviously, being teammates, even though he races in GP over there, but I've met him a few times, and the funny part is I've raced with his dad when I was younger in Supercross, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, no, I don't know Mathis Boarame well, but yeah, it's a good opportunity, to spend good times with the other riders, and this is a cool event. You get together with like 3 riders and to fight for your country. So this is very unique and special.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the awesome answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Revista Moto, we'll go to you.
Thank you, Weege. Hey, Dylan, are you still on the phone or on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Dylan, thank you. For the next few races, is it more about managing points and the lead or trying to win races?
Like I said before, yeah, it's always about winning. But yes, sometimes you can win every race. So yeah, it's both. But yeah, my goal is to win the most moto I can. But if I don't, the championship is still number one goal. So we're gonna do just the best we can and taking race by race. It's hard to having a plan right now. It's like really, again, moto by moto and trying to do the best I can, and we will see at the end.
Great, thank you.
We'll wrap this thing up. Just a couple more questions. Anthony Sansoda, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Weege. I'll go to Ken Roczen with this one. Ken, Budds Creek's next on the list. Is it a track that you enjoy, and how are you feeling headed there?
Yeah, Budds Creek is a little bit of a special place. I won the championship there in 2016, which of course is a while ago now, but in general, I do like going there. It's a very unique track in my eyes. And also I went there for the Motocross of Nations, I think in 2004. I wasn't racing, but I just came with Team Germany. So kind of a special place for me to go there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I've raced good there before too. So that's a big plus.
Cool. Thanks, Ken.
Hey, Ken, I have a question. Have you thought about Motocross of Nations? Do you have anything on that? Are you going to race it or not? Where are you at with Motocross of Nations for Germany?
Yeah, I really wanted to race. I was ready to go and whatnot, but now after further review and I think also with Honda and a little bit difficult time just with the whole COVID situation and parts and all that kind of stuff, and of course the situation over in Europe, I just feel like there's a lot of uncertainties as of right now. Obviously it's happening, but who knows if there will be any fans allowed, and obviously a lot of riders like Marvin said are not going to race, and so I feel like the pros and cons for me were just, there's a little bit more on the con side for everything. And I feel like this is such a special race that I feel like if you can't do it all the way, then, don't do it at all type thing.
Cool. All right. Thanks for that. We'll wrap it up with Nick from Moto Limited. You got your hand up. Go ahead and we'll wrap it up.
Thanks, Weege. Let's go back to Marvin Musquin. Marvin, only a few rounds left in the championship. Are we closer to an announcement to find out if you will be returning to Red Bull KTM for 2022?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're still working on it. So, but definitely my goal is to race next year. So as of right now, yeah, that's all I can say.
Absolutely. Thanks, Marvin. Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay, that's going to do it. Thanks for 20 minutes from our 450 riders. We'll see everybody next week. Budds Creek, Maryland. Still have 4 races to go in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. And we'll see you at Budds Creek about a half hour outside DC. Go to promotocross.com for all your information on the series. Have a good night, everybody.